My name is Dirk Walter and I'm leading the mobile service provider business for the Asia Pacific region in Cisco. So I'm taking care of the mobile network specific infrastructure business. Well, service providers have a lot on their plate. I can just name a few topics. The upsurge in data traffic driven by video continues to be a hot topic. We are discussing the best application of automation technologies and virtualization. IoT becomes increasingly a topic, how to launch IoT and how to make money from it. Just a few examples, but the key topic of this event is of course 5G. 5G today looks way more certain than a year ago. It looks more certain because the 3GPP standards have evolved. We know now exactly how 5G looks like. We had multiple pilot projects in the region. That gives us way better visibility on what the capabilities are, also what the costs are to deploy a network on 5G technology. And last but not least, we made quite good progress with the licenses. Spectrum has been awarded in some parts of our region, specifically in Japan and in Korea. And many other regions have announced plans both for the C-band and the millimeter wave as well. So all of that together gives us way more certainty on 5G than about a year ago. Yeah, one way to look at 5G is probably to look at the business case. So why do we need 5G at all? To start with, we have a massive problem in 4G and LTE with network scalability and also network economy. So 5G will help. 5G will address the aspect of network scalability. It provides way more capacity, but also it reduces the cost to serve. The cost per bit is coming roughly down by factor 2, at least by half. And that helps service providers not only to scale their networks to the increasing demand, but also make profits on those increasing traffics. So that's certainly a key element of 5G, network economics. The second part has to do with scale, with the ability to customize services. In the 5G environment, we introduce a new concept called network slicing, and that allows basically a physical network, 5G network or even 4G network, to be divided up in multiple logical slices. Each of these slices can have its own attributes, be it for bandwidth, latency, security, or reliability, and then can be assigned to a specific service. So you could think of Netflix having its own slice in the network. You could think of IoT applications having their own slice, and perhaps other enterprise applications also having a dedicated slice, all with their very specific attributes. So that is a key advantage that we see in 5G. And then last but not least, these are all the very cool things that are typically named when it comes to 5G. These are all the new applications that are enabled simply by having way higher bandwidths, way higher throughput, and much lower latency. So all the applications that are typically related to low latency, like connected cars, and applications like high bandwidth and low latency, like augmented reality. We have applications in the IoT space that are all not possible today in 4G, and also allow our service providers to make more money, to increase their revenue chains. To start with, Asia is a good place to be. So Asia is clearly at the forefront of the 5G development. This market here is ahead. We see the very advanced markets like Korea and Japan. Both these markets have done extensive trials and pilots and have very aggressive plans to roll out 5G way ahead of other markets. Now, what has helped is that in this part of the world, some of the regulators have planned for 5G way in advance and have awarded the radio spectrum to the service providers. So the radio spectrum is determining the time in which 5G can be deployed and rolled out. And if you look again at Japan and Korea, in both these markets, 5G spectrum has been awarded. We see other markets, Australia and New Zealand, where we at least have announcements. So there is certainty in when that spectrum is awarded, and that's the reason why this market is probably ahead of what we would see in Europe and America. Another difference is perhaps that the variety of use cases. We see Europe, the first use cases in Europe as well as in the US are very much centered on fixed wireless applications. Basically the idea of serving a residential broadband subscriber through 5G instead of fiber. Whereas in Asia, that is one use case, but there are many others. So the variety of use cases here is very richer, and much of that has perhaps to do with the sports event that we're going to have. Tokyo 2020, we have sports events even in New Zealand, the sailing event, and all of that is calling for advanced applications that we will see here perhaps much earlier than in other parts of the world. Generally, I can say that 5G sends a number of key requirements into our roadmaps across the entire Cisco portfolio. But I want to focus on three key domains. One is the radio access domain. We have driven an initiative that we call vRAN, Open vRAN. Here the idea is to virtualize part of the radio access network and to make that an open ecosystem. We have also advanced our SON solution, our self-optimizing networks, with the capabilities for 5G, and that also includes artificial intelligence to make SON more proactive. And the third one on the access part is also Wi-Fi. We are launching new products for Wi-Fi. You might know that there's a new standard, 11AX, which has capabilities that are very similar to what we typically associate with 5G. If you will, AX is the 11AX is the Wi-Fi version of 5G, and we are going to see commercial products very soon. So that's on the access side. A few words on the core side. Packet core network. Clearly, the packet core network has evolved significantly already in 4G. We have things like CUPS, control and user plane separation. We have now a 5G ready core network, both standalone and non-standalone. And of course, we are now able to scale the virtual packet core network to the capacities that we need in 4G and 5G, much higher capacities. And that is possible through a number of innovations like vector processing. VPP is one of the technologies that Cisco has pioneered. And you may have seen the recent announcement. We are deploying the largest virtual packet core network in the world with T-Mobile in the US. And then the third domain I want to mention is security. The principles of 5G introduce elements like mobile edge computing and of course virtualization across the network. Now this is all good operationally, and also it brings down the cost, but it tremendously increases what we call the attack surface. So the risks that come along for potential attacks from outside the network is increasing, and for that reason security becomes ever more important. So we are building security intrinsically into the network end to end, and that is a key strength that Cisco brings to the table.